I'm testing out a few things, so welcome to Dining and Doodles. I am happy to invite all y'all to join me today. And today we're going to just try and do some artwork, we're going to colorize this artwork, bring it out with inks and whatnot. This is a piece I did a while back for my series Demon Blade as a promotional, but I never finished it. So it's time to finish that. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. I welcome all to join, to chat if you can, and just bring up messages that I'll get to drawing. And let's see here. We're going to zoom in and start working from here. See what we can do on getting this to pop out. I always like to start with the face, and we need a new layer here to work from. A couple layers actually, but we'll work here, and we'll start with the chin, getting my outline up and going. And let's see how things are going. Let's draw that in and put that on down. And we'll just add some eyelashes in as we work. Oh, that's too much. So we go on through here, put a little drawing line in here, and there we go. We've got our first actual eye. Now I may change that pupil as we go, but we'll see how things go. Of course, her characteristic hair is always something, so we need to make sure we get it nice and put in there. She's got a lot of bangs. And let's see here. Drawing that on in there. And let's see, what is our pen at? Oh, it's a bit thicker than I kind of want. So I actually might go back and do the hair a little thinner here. Start at a good 20 tip. And I'm just waiting for my computer to load. Alright, save it away. Click. That is something I absolutely am loving with Clip Paint Studio with their latest updates, is that it'll save automatically. I don't have to worry about it. It'll save it, which is very good for someone like me who continuously forgets. Let's see, we'll add the teeth and the mouth. And we went for a very box-like mouth this time around with her. We need to make sure we get her fangs. And get things going there. And we'll put in the eyelash a bit more on this one. We gotta be more prominent. Maya's very pristine about her look. She has a very set look. It's been a look pretty much from the moment I created her years ago that she's always kind of maintained. She may have gotten a little bit more squinty-eyed than she did in the past, but I think it's a little bit more characteristic of her personality to have sort of those slanted eyes. And let's see here. gonna actually do one thing to help along. See the work that's getting done. We're gonna lighten it up for you guys. So you can see I screwed up there. Put that on the wrong layer. Slide through and touch. This is absolutely a mistake there. Mistakes are one thing, but we can always fix them. It's not a big threat to the artwork. You just roll with the punches and keep on going. That's pretty much the attitude I give my. And somebody's just messaged me while I'm working. What a lovely live stream. Let me turn my volume off of my phone. There we go. No more chimes, hopefully. I can't prevent, of course, emergency notifications. And we are supposed to get a storm coming through my area. But hopefully it won't be anything severe. We're doing a little bit of a drawing here. Putting that in. We did a little too much with the ear there. Her neck's supposed to go there. Oopsie. And of course, Mai gets the collar. That she has pretty much from the whole series. She had it, or she gained it a little bit in the first issue, so she was seen without it. And anytime I do her in the past, draw her past life, she doesn't have the necklace, the collar, the choker, whatever you want to call it, the indication of her connection to the blade. So, let's see here. Let's bring her hair up and over so we can bind that hairstyle. And I think I am going to do some small edits here. Still got to do her eyebrows, but I am going to remove her pupil for now because we're going to do some actual gradients in the eye, and I don't want to have an eyeball or pupil in the way. Let's bring this. We've got to do her charm. And I always like to put a lip on, so it shows sort of a form there. We're adding a bust line. Kind of got wobbly there, so let's do it. Way off. And bring that on up and over and out. She's wearing more of a yoga, almost workout type outfit because Mai's more athletic than most of the other characters. Therefore, she's going to be dressed for the occasion. We'll do a little bump there, bump there. And we'll bring your stomach in and give her belly button. Do a little bit of ab there. Do the wrists. And thumb. And we'll go through, do a finger. And try and bind it there, but I want to get her knuckle in there. Her next finger's over here, slightly higher, because it's the middle. Then the next two go in behind it, like that. And we'll bring this outfit. Let's see. We were going to do kind of a unzip, sort of unbutton type outfit here that she's wearing. So we'll do that. I can do. Always the charm is going to be a problem drawing it properly. I've done it so much though, I'm kind of used to it. But even still, I'll mess up that thing a lot of times. And bring this around. Too far, too far. Bring that around. Wait for a save. Never really quite. I love the saves, but never quite understand when they're coming in. And so timing is everything, I guess. And we're doing her thumb around. So doing this, her hand's going to be cupped. That finger needs to be drawn in a bit better. Let's give Mai some gum on her lip. So it shows that she's got that sort of creepy yet amusing smile. And something I didn't draw in the thing is always a scrunchie with her. Always a scrunchie. Add a little texture. And let's see what else we got going here. Fudge. That was a bad one. Still bad. Getting better, though. Much better. And there we go. Now, see, many people would do these, do different parts of her body or something on different layers. It's not necessarily the best when you're trying to do a huge comic page to have, God, 15 to 20 layers. But it does help to at least know the placement when you're going through and doing your image, be it a comic or being a drawing, to what layers that you're going to want to have in play. What needs to be up front, what needs to be up back. And that really only comes out through years of practice. So, in this case, we've got this sort of almost dance position for Mai. And she is going through almost a twirl where she has her hand wrapped around her in a cup position, building up her ice attacks, which is what we're drawing out at the end here. But first we need to do her pants. I'm giving her some cargo-based shorts, I believe, is what I was going for. So we want some pockets. And there we go. Do some absurd pockets here. And let's see, do this one. Let's see here. Take that over there. Take that over there. And we're going to bring it around. We did this sort of split pattern. And we keep moving. Let's see here. We want to kind of connect that. And let's give her a belt in this mess, because if we're going to have her unpants or unzipped pants, let's do something like giving her a belt. I think I did too much there with the crotch. Well, let's get a belt that doesn't quite work, so let's give her a belt that goes like this. Yeah. Start in the middle and go from around. Well, still not right where I want it. Circle it around. Let's do a bit better there. And I want to go with sort of an ornate buckle, so something a little bit flashier than a typical thing. So let's go with something more kind of like well, I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's try more of one of the sort of, since we're going sports and cargo belt, let's go with kind of belt that's more of a utility like belt. Put this on in here, clamp it down. And we'll even go back through here and make it so that it goes down and out. And we'll add a texture in with the belt later. But since we are showing a bit of her inner thigh, let's give her a tiny bit of a show there. Mai's not afraid to show off. Heck, I mean, she's more than willing to fight naked if she has to, but she won't. Simply for the fact that I don't want to be demonetized. And let's add a seam. And the same seam here. And there are the sounds of sirens in the background. I apologize. Unfortunately, I live right off of an interstate, and it's kind of busy. Okay. No, I'm going to actually redo the hair on a different layer. I'm going to do that for a reason. Let's bring the knee out. Go down her leg. The sock needs to have a little density to it, so we'll add a little cup there. And we've got her having tennis shoes. So we want to add a little layer there just to show it is a bit more to it than just a foot. These small details help to give at least a better look. in the long run once you start to add the color. We're just going to bring the tongue of the shoe there. Put this little rubbery toe and a small little heel. Now we're going to do the same on this leg. Little indication of a knee. Went a little too far there. Putting that on down. Scroll it down. Come over to this side, and let's go ahead and start the sock over here. So a bit more showing because she's got her leg straight out in an awkward position. So let's add the tongue first to our shoe. Add the sides and the back. A little too far there. And the reason I'm not adding laces yet is because I want to get the color of the shoe down pat before I add any form of laces. Especially since her foot is going and sort of she's on her toe in this part of the image, and I kind of screwed that up there. Let's see here. That's going to be upward and down, and there we go. Scroll out a bit here. And we can sort of bring down the continuation of that part of the pants. Actually, the button would not be there. The buttonhole would be there. So let's do a large buttonhole. And we'll do a button here. Now, let's add a line to the top. And a line here. Oh, too far. And add another line in here. And here. And let's add the line for there. There we have most of the body. Now, let's see where we can go from here. Let's go with the layer below for the hair that I had done or started to do. And we're going to do the full hair, so I don't mind going over stuff that's going to be covered up once we start adding color. Mai's always got this sort of stereotypical flowing ponytail, at least through most of the series. So it helps to draw her out with the hair. Being long and flowing. And of course, gravity has to take place. So let's do some lines. Well, I don't like that one. To do her hair up. And let's see here. Now that we've got that, it should be able to do the blue for her hair there. And we can go back over here and cover up exactly where that went. We usually go with green for the hair tie or scrunchie. And Mai's hair body color is this medium peach. I will go back and do the whites in a bit of the eyes, so I don't mind it coloring in. I do realize I just did not do the eyebrows at all, did I? Crud. And I didn't do her chest either, so a little spot. Too far. Let's use this with the mouse here. Little speck there. Now this is our base color, so this is where we'll work out from. It sort of follows Mai's typical color set, which is her blue hair, her pale skin. It's not pale as it can be, but it's still fairly pale. And her green and pink clothing, which is to symbolize her family's name, which is springtime, despite being a frost oni. Get her yellow eyes. Let's start with the dark. Bring out the white, another white bit in her teeth that I missed. And we'll get a little bit of red in the gum line, so we really need to go in here. Too far. Alright, let's do her chest. Now, she has two things to note with her chest. One is she has a prominent scar right on her left breast. And it only really shows whenever she's doing anything or wearing anything that shows sort of that bust line. And that on her is from where her heart was ripped out from her chest in the series. So she still has a physical scar, much like other characters have their scar in the series. Mise is also prominent. Add a baseline of yellow for the charm. A darker line in certain areas. And we need to add some skin tone right there. And I think I will go with a dirty pink there. I do see something I need to fix. Let's see here. Back to swatches here. No. Wait, there we are. And let's go with gold on that button. So we're going to do yellow there. I almost like this green right here for her pants here. And we'll go black for her underwear showing right there. Where's that olive? There you are. Finish the pants. And there's one more spot there. And we'll go with most of the dusty brown for that for right now. Carry the yellow again. Damn it. And I see a line that we didn't do on the shoe. Let's add that. And let's add a pattern on these. Or something, let's see. Oh, I don't like that. Let's do. Well, Nike's got the swoosh. Let's do the swirl. And I will always have sort of this pink tone in her footwear. So let's do the swirl in the pink. And white. And we'll add this off gray for the foot here. Add pink. Let's make this also pink. Just the edge. Gives it a little bit of color. Makes it pop out a little bit more. Oh, too far. And I don't like making those all white, so let's make them, you know what? Let's conflict her hair again. Let's do blue for the shoe. So blue, blue, and we got our pink in here. Let's repeat the pink here on the outside. Add a sort of name tag for the brand. There'll be a little inside tag there. That one would be white. And let's say that one's also white. Just to make it a little easier. Goes pink. And let's make the socks the same color as the bottom of the shoe. And we'll add some texture. Let's see here. Scrabble, 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 scrabble. Scrabble, scrabble, scrabble. And we need to make that part blue. All right. Now, let's start with something that I know I can get done appropriately here. That is going to be the eyes. Since this is going to be promotional, let's go with an actual gradient. Now, come on, unselect that one. Select there, select there. All right. So, we're going to bring in highlights into her eyes. So we want to bring in a nice airbrush. That part of the eye will be highlighted. That part will be darker. And we want a hard brush for the pupil. And Mai doesn't really have human pupils. She has that sort of slanted reptilian type eye. That is prominent in demons and monsters, myth and lore. And we'll add a little bit of highlights in there. fact, I'll deselect. And that way we can prone it there. And we're going to do one other thing that you sometimes don't, and that is add just a hint of gray on the eye. Now let's add color to the hair. Since we're working on 2 layers, we want to go to both layers. But we want to do one thing, and that is exclude this part. And exclude this part. We're going to create a new layer. Bring this on up. And I always like to do this by hand. Instead of using an airbrush these days, I tend to go this way. Add a shadow on the hair to give it sort of a 3D effect. That gives it a nice flowing look. Well, went too far there. So we want to make sure we don't go around that area. So let's fill that in. There we go. Gives my more flowing look to her hair. And then we add highlights to her hair because Maya's got very shiny, bright hair. And she takes good care of it. Kinda jealous. Is it alright for me to be, as a creator, to be jealous of my own character? I'd like to think so. Alright. Select layer, deselect. Alright. Select layer, reselect. Something I'm gonna do here. I didn't notice it until just now. We're gonna go back on this layer and we want to select black lines. Go up here. There we go. Now, let's see here. We want to take that same dark blue, and I think I'm going to put that around on this part of this top. I don't want it black, I want it dark blue for right now. Because I can work with it from there. And one more spot I need to take care of. Is this part of the buckle. That went the wrong way. There we go. We're getting it together. Now I would go with medium tone for her shadow. My medium tone is actually 2 swatches down. We need to do the medium tone for her ear, her nose, her other ear, and her neckline. And we also want to do it on the bust line. And since we're doing a cupped hand, let's do it also here on the fingers. Oh. And we're going to add a shadow line here. Some shadow lines at their legs. In fact, this part of the body is going to be fairly much completely shadow on this foot. So this, oh, a little bit left there on that part. While this one is going to be a bit more prominent in standard shadow. That way our lighting source, when we see it, it's going this way. And that is a key whenever you're drawing to know sort of where your lighting source is. Now, given that being said, her hair can still get this light as well. But we want the lighting source for her body to be this way. And we'll do a bit more shadow here, since that's going to be that way. And we'll do shadow right there. this on down. Let's do slight shadow. Going this way. And going on the face, we'll do slight shadow on the eye, around the crease. And we'll finally draw in those eyebrows. Now, typically when I'm doing the comic, her eyebrows are just black, but if ever I do a sort of color image, I show off that her eyebrows are actually blue. That's the big difference in doing black and white versus color. Black and white, you're far more restricted in what you want to do, and I just don't have the time or want to make her look different enough in the drawing with black and white to do little touches like that, when I could be doing something a little bit more actiony or more dramatic posing, paying attention to her eyebrow being blue versus black, not exactly a big necessity. There goes my alarm. And time to work on this part. So we're going to add some black, actual black on that blue at the ends. Then we're going to go 2 shades higher and just do a little bit of highlight blue. And now that we can mess with it a bit more, we're going to change the color of, oh, wrong layer. Change the color here of the charm. We want to make it look more golden. So with the golden look, we want to go a bit orange to yellow. So we're going to put in some dark spots. Make it look more like a 3D product by giving it depth. And we're going to even do a little nook here and here. And some highlights. Now we're going to go back and do my dark shadow, which is this swatch right here. we're just going to hit a few spots that may have a little bit of a darker point. Bring in the shadow. Oh, didn't close that fully. And because it's a belly button, definitely darker in there. And maybe darkness here. Now let's add a few things here. Let's go with a zipper. So we want to kind of create a few segmented lines along this black and equally do it on this one. And we create the zipper itself. And we'll bring out lines that we'll highlight again in a minute. Don't really need to do it on that side. All right. Okay. Add a highlight to that. Gives it a little bit of a texture. And we're going to add a few more lines to the pants to make them a little bit more detailed. So let's do line here. And we'll do pocket line here. And stretch mark. Oh, too far. Add the line down below. Now let's take our color that we have and let's pick a color a little bit darker for the shadow. And in this case, we have the established light. So we want to go here. The belt will definitely leave a shadow, but as will the creases and the pockets. So there may be a little bit of a light right here. And some light here. We'll say here, pocket, and there. Then on this side, we're just going to draw out the highlights. So maybe a little bit over here of reflective light. And just a touch here near the top. Screw up there. Something didn't connect. I see. We didn't have a connection right here. Again, something didn't connect. All right. Now we go next shade down. We want a much darker shade. And this is going to be where our darkest colors would be. Now with the belt, we want to do the same, but we want to make it look a little bit thicker in spots. And we went with this color, I believe. So we want to go darker. And the belt is going to be a little bit easier. It's going to be a different texture. But primarily it's going to be like this. And lastly, we're going to add in some darker tone on the bra. Let's add a little bit of a highlight, catching it in here. Well, let's do it. A little bit that way. And we'll actually curl that a bit more. Now, let's add some texture. And luckily for Clip Paint Studio, there's tons of texture brushes. If you don't have it in your system, then you can easily just get one from their online connection, where lots and lots of people put in, I want, wave pattern for this, I believe. And we're going to do this on a separate layer. It's a new layer. I don't like the way that looked. Why is it so dark? Let's see, crosshatch. Why is it coming out so gray? It's the right kind of texture, but I don't know why it's coming in gray. So let's do darken. Why is that not coming in darker? Duplicate layer. Still not coming in darker. Alright. I don't know why. We'll just have to use something else. Delete the layer. Alright. Cross hatching. Let's see if this does better. It does. Okay. So we're going to add cross hatching. I'm doing this in black so I can go through and add shadow to the texture. And there's a spot I need to go back with texture and add. For texture, let's see, another spot right there. Go back to the layer, we'll add the texture. And once we fade this, it gives it a little bit of a rougher texture. Let's add a few more details. Let's add fingernails. Well, Mai takes care of herself. She's not really one for makeup, so she's going to be wearing basics. And that's about what she'll be looking like there. Let's add some tonal color to the buckles and the button. So let's go that for the button. We'll do a highlight. Do the same for the buckle. Take a layer, add the highlights. Just a slither of highlight for there. And we'll just have a little bit there. That will be dark point. Because it's metal, it's going to be a little bit of a different touch. Add a little bit of shadow into the socks and shoes. Let's do that. Since that foot's already in shadow, adding a lot of shadow there. Whereas this foot will only have a little bit of shadow. We'll add this shade of blue for the shadow on the shoe. And this is why we don't draw the laces yet. Because if we do, we'd have a hard time getting this in. Well, let's do a touch of light here. And a light there. And then for the interior, we'll add a darker pink, almost a purple. And now let's add laces. And I'm going to give her sort of the CrossFit lace. So it's going to be kind of like this. And let's add a little bit of darkness on the teeth. A little bit of shadow. Just to sort of make it look like she has the teeth separate. Now, let's do the last thing that I've been saving here, and that is Mai's power. Whenever I draw her ice power, I have to think of a few things. So let's take the shadow off that layer. So we can do this layer. Her ice powers are always sort of organic in look. So they're chunks. I tend to go through with a dark line like this. Draw out the object. And we can even remove her and see where we're drawing it. In fact, let's drop the hair and we should know where we need to draw. There's no conformity to this. It's just geometric shape with jagged edges. Let's try and give it a sort of 3D look. Usually I go with this tone. Then add in, didn't have to fill in all of them. White spots and dark spots. Very simple, not all that difficult way to basically get chunks. And what happens is once I go through and I say, I want that white lined. Oh, too far there. Wrong spot there. We then take occupancy down to about 75, bring it together, and you can see the ice look coming together. I do this both in color and black and white whenever I do her powers. I'll make sure I go on multiple layers. So, new layer. New layer. Bring in the coloring. Dark layer. Dark layer. Go back over. with white. And occupancy. That's one way to do it. Another way is conveniently a brush. In this case, I use small stones. I keep a white outline and a gray inline. And these I can do the smaller chunks. Make the shadow visible. And actually, crud, this needs to be on this layer. And so does well, crud. Kind of screwed up there. Nope. There we go. And since we went with, now we want to do a background. So we went with bluer, darker colors. Even with the pink, we're going to do something a bit lighter for a background. Let's go with new layer. Let's go with effect. Let's just do what we did before, which is, and we'll do sort of a reverse of my colors. So go pink down here. And we'll just do a pink layer. And we'll come in with blue as we go up. And no, I don't like that. Let's go with darker. Our colors might actually do better with a dark blue. So let's just delete the whole thing there. Go with a darker blue for her. We'll deal with the logo in a bit. And let's add a touch of purple. Now, this layer, I'm going to halftone it. So, we want to well, hold on a second. Tone. All right, tone goes there. Color. Burn. Nope. Add glow. Let's decrease the frequency. And then my ice, no, that's shadow. That's ice. Let's duplicate that layer. And let's do a glow dodge. And lastly, let's do a few other touch-ups here. Add, let's see, do a harsh layer. So the logo can be readable. Let's add the lines of text. Let's see. Ensure is a heart beat away. Of course, that is the go-to tagline for the comic. Let's see if we can find a good text. I think that actually might work. And in fact, let's bolden that. And we're going to make this stand out. So we want to do duplicate layers of the white. And then we're going to do a duplicate layer. And I'm going to do it in black initially. And we're going to alter it from there. And the reason I did the multiple layers, so I can add outline to the text. So it makes it a little bit more readable. Now that we've got that layer, I want to make sure I've got the phrase down properly. Yep. Before we rasterize, and we're going to take all the black. This may be a challenge with this letter choice. In fact, let's do it this way. Select, invert in between those A's, between that R, in that U, all right. We want to invert. And we're going to do this on a different layer in case we don't like it. Well, undo. Softer. Darker. Ah, the D's messed up. See? This is why we do the layers. Come on. Add the D. All right, exclude the D. There we go. Now let's do it. Just try purple. Green, maybe. Just trying different colors to see what I like. Let's do purple and a red. Purple and orange. Let's see how the orange popping out. We don't really have much orange. That may work. Let's see something. Let's play with hue. Clear color. Explosion. Mood light. Soft light. Glow dodge. Add glow. Let's do nothing. Select, deselect. Gotta add 2 more things, and that'll be it. We'll finally be done with the stream. First off, normal. Now, ring. We can do better. We can definitely do better. Okay, let's add a layer real quick to make that a little more visible. Let's just do and we need to put a signature on. And of course it wants to save right as we do it. Do our signature. Let's do a little bit thicker. And we remove one layer. And there you have it. Completed with my drawing. This was considered to be basically a test. I know I didn't talk very much, and if anybody commented, I didn't see it. Not during the stream. I'm working out bugs. We'll see how things go. I hope to do these a little bit better, and we'll do, of course, with the actual dining and doodles, they'll actually be quicker and timed. So we'll be able to see who and what people request, and see if I can do them in about 30 minutes time. I know this is a bit of a longer stream, but this is a test to see how things went. And let me know if you like this setup, if you want something different, if you want me to do other things besides just drawings. Let me know what you'd like to see. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the future with some more